like you with Taco Bell's $5 Build Your Own Cravings Box, only online or with the Taco Bell app. Taco Bell's $5 Build Your Own Cravings Box, only online or with the Taco Bell app. Taco Bell's $5 Build Your Own Cravings Box, only online.
Not muted anymore, and we're live. We got back with some more VCU LCS action. Not muted anymore, and we're live. We got a bit scuffed with me having the stream on in the background, but there we go. We got bands coming in. Washington Everfrost versus Dogecoin to the Moon. This week 2 matchup. Washington Everfrost looking to bounce back from their week 1 loss to the very sultry Kings, while Dogecoin to the Moon is looking to get a second win on their season after beating Sniped the last game of last week. But as we get into bands, some interesting bands here. Victor, Viego, and Nivea being banned away from Dogecoin to the Moon, and the classic Seraphine, Tryndamere, Cassin, which I feel like we're going to get a lot of throughout the year against Washington Everfrost. I'm Dane. I'm joined by Daniel. How you doing?
Hello. Washington Everfrost is definitely the team we expect to win tonight.
I would agree.
Garen first pick for Crit-Go Bonk. Definitely thought he might go with the Malphite. Just standard. Don't have to worry about the lane matchup.
I mean, Garen kind of in the same way, very easy to play, but doesn't give the same team fighting prowess. But from scouting their team last week, Everfrost, Krikobank, Garen is his go-to after the Tryndamere. So we'll see how it works out. Hopefully it looks better than the Scion, but I feel like since he has a lot more games played on it, it will be.
Definitely, Garen can also fill the sort of split push mentality you want to have as Tryndamere. As he is a Tryndamere one trick for predominantly what is already a couple seasons. Dogecoin picking up Rokai, so just standard bot lane.
Yeah, strong engage. Countered by the Lulu Ezreal, a lot of peel and disengage with Ezreal jump and Lulu polymorph. But we have more bans coming in shortly. No, we got one more pick. There's the Malphite into the Garen. Kind of should be a kind of snooze fest in the top lane. I don't think Malphite will be able to kill the Garen. I don't think the Garen will be able to kill the Malphite.
Definitely, the Garen might be looking to get an early lead when the Malphite still hasn't amassed those tanky stats, but then he's trying to run against the Malphite with a speed boost from his Q. Definitely not a matchup that either team is carrying to win. They're going to be looking more towards the bottom mid lane especially. Equivalent versus Wisher is where the game is just going to snowball, I believe.
Yeah, and that's where we see more of the bans coming in. Yone, Silas, and Galio taken off the board with one more to go. Let's see if they can make it 4 for 4 on these mid lane bans. Nope, they go to the jungle with the Kayn ban, targeting Lokesh. But that does leave up his Echo, which I assume is going in the jungle. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Equivalent doesn't play it. But I know Lokesh does like his Echo in the jungle. And with Viego Kayn banned away, it seemed fairly obvious what he wants to do with that. Akali for the mid lane, Witcher in the mid lane, Assassin, lots of damage, as well as Jarvan, which I'm not sure I like this comp a great deal.
Feels like Washington Everfrost has a bit more of a skirmish heavy team comp. Meanwhile, Dogecoin just has a standard dive composition. They want to get the row, the Malphite, get that big wombo combo. Meanwhile, the Echo and Kaiser just dishing out damage.
Yeah, I don't like the Jarvan with paired with the Ezreal Akali. I don't feel like it's like Jarvan really wants to dive in, get a burst down, and lock someone down. So then you can have like a big AOE team fight on top of the Jarvan ult. But they do not really, or Washington Everfrost has not picked a team that really wants to do that. They kind of want to fight you, like split you up, and then fight you around the map. So I'm not sure where Jarvan fits in, but it's a comfort pick, I guess. We'll see how it works.
Leaf Perney just wants to go for those early ganks. They want to make this a quick 1-0 game. They want to just snowball their laners as fast as possible. Lulu Ezreal, that's not like a really good balling combination, but both of the champs are amazing on their own. And if they get a snowball, it's pretty much nothing that Dogecoin can do to get back. Echo is a big stat check champ. He either kills you or he doesn't. The Malphite relies on the rest of your team being ahead, and Kai'Sa row, just the same thing. Dogecoin just wants to scale and get a 5v5 while Washington Everfrost just wants to scrim.
Yeah, with the engaged like Rel and Malphite, that's some scary team fight. But they do have to wait a while because Echo, Corki, and Kai'Sa do not have the best early games. So they'll have to wait for the Corki to scale, for the Echo to get some kills under his belt, and the Kai'Sa to get an item or two before they really try to look for big team fights. And that will give Everfrost some time to look for some roams with the Akali pushing the Corki and look to kill maybe the bot lane, like the over aggressive bot lane of Dogecoin.
Corgi has been a sort of rising pick more and more in professional play, and now it seems that he's sort of seeped down back into local like VCU LCS. At 2 items is when the champ really comes online. He needs the finished Mortal Shield Bow. He needs the completed Man Immune, maybe an RFC on top of it. Even with just those 2 items, his package alone is enough to solo win team fight. So I'm definitely interested to see how Equivalent's gonna pilot the Corki in team fights and around objectives and things like that.
So we have predictions open now. Dogecoin to the moon coming out strong with a 10K bet. Well done. Someone's going in.
Washington Everfrost not getting as many points as you'd like to see, but it's only 3-3 right now. Someone just all in on Dogecoin.
Someone invested heavily.
It is probably low cash himself. He's gonna win. Definitely gonna be an interesting matchup.
How much
both
do I want
teams-
to put down on? I misclicked. I didn't want Doge. I wanted Dogecoin. No. We ready or? Oh, we're waiting on one of the players to get started. Why?
It is also expected we get a game pause in the first minute.
Really?
No, it's just the way things go.
Oh, true. Y'all can hear me all right. I had an update in Streamlabs, so I'm not sure if my mic is working properly.
Lokesh's team still hoping that Dogecoin someday reaches $1.
And that they will become rich. They have a few investors on their thing. They got 12K now. 12K bits on the line.
I am personally cursing some of my team members to invest in Washington Everfrost.
I want to invest in them, but I don't really want to that much because I don't like the way their team looks.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Like,
despite their team comp being janky, I think there's just a skill gap in between the players.
I would agree as well, but from playing them last week, it didn't look great. So I have a few trepidations, but I'll predict some more on the Trick 1000 on Washington Everfrost.
17K being dropped by Mr. Prue himself on Washington Everfrost. There are some believers in Dogecoin to the moon.
I believe that there's definitely a chance. Like the way they've drafted this, they have a very good team fight, very good scaling. They just got to get there and make sure that Kali does not get super fed and cleans them out or cleans the Corki or Kai'Sa away.
What I'm more concerned of is on if I was to be Dogecoin right now, just the general mental state of everyone. Watching Sniped versus Dogecoin last week, it was not the prettiest game you could have watched, but Dogecoin's jungle Lokesh definitely mental boomed halfway through and just didn't want to play. And Equivalent had to solo carry the team. Against Wisher, I don't see Equivalent being able to exert the same amount of pressure he can that he did versus Snipe. So I definitely think that, again, despite the team comp, it's more Washington Everfrost favored.
I don't know. I've got a lot of question marks about both these teams. Everfrost coming in was thought to be one of the higher teams, but did not start out well. But have a chance to bounce back. I think they'll win this game. I'm gonna bet a little bit more. Let's add another 1,000, just because I can. How will they kill the Malphite later? You don't need to kill the Malphite later. You just put Critical Bonk in a side lane and have him push in the Malphite until he can't anymore. And if he ever leaves, you take the turret, but we'll see. Because you have a nice 4 Like if you go tank Jarvan, you have a nice 4-man which can do what you want. They have everything they need. They have a front line, they have an assassin, they have damage, they have peel.
Very interested in seeing how Urkendale pilots the Ezreal as well. Typically, whenever as an AC in Diamond, I like playing against Ezreals because even at Diamond, people don't know how to pilot that champ properly.
Skill shots too hard.
Yeah, it's skill shots, auto attack weaving, getting just everything the way it's supposed to be. It's a very hard champ for a reason, and I'm very interested to see how Urkendale is going to play it out. I believe the Lulu was picked more of as a counter to the Rel than to synergize with the Ezreal itself.
I would agree.
Really easy for Slender mode to disrupt her. He just presses W when she's Wing as well, and the well engage is foiled. Reverse Polarity, though, still a very strong ability, and it's been seen time and time again over the past week how teams have just solo lost to a Rel ulting in.
I'm not sure really how the Lulu stops it. Doesn't the polymorph won't stop her ultimate, and obviously it'll stop her from casting it, but the stun and the ult don't get stopped by it, I'm pretty sure. So
yeah, you're just picking Lulu and you polymorph when the Rel is jumping in. You're hoping then your ADC or whoever else is being targeted can reposition so they don't get chain CC'd by the Rel.
That is a big question mark that Slender mode will have to be up for the task of answering every time Rel decides to jump in. He did both Rels that we've seen that have had success have also had some struggles. Karoo's in lane and then having some pop-off moments later. 4G also having some unfortunate situations. So there will be opportunities for this Ezreal Lulu lane to make some plays happen, even though it's an Ezreal Lulu lane.
The later the game goes, the more Dogecoin has like a beefy front line that I think Washington Everfrost can't deal with. As much as we joke about Black Cleaver University, this is actually a pretty good Black Cleaver game, I'd say, for Quidco, Bonker, Pernit. Like, you want the shred from the front line. Diak was going to be building Azonias, Ro and Malphite are just armor stacking non-stop. You want as much armor pen as you can get. I also hope that Urkendale doesn't go for the Duskblade build.
Yeah, I don't think that's the move here.
Definitely, I think a Divine Thunder game, you want to get that mixed damage in. You want to get that percent HP as a Sheen proc.
You also get armor penetration and MR.
We have seen 4G in his last game. I forget who he was, but he was at one point with Ocean solo tanking the entire team while being in their base.
I'm pretty sure he was on Rel.
Yeah, he was on Rel. I forget who he was playing against. I believe it was versus Sniped. Yes, yeah, that was the only game they played. It was versus Sniped. But then that game also a lot of moments where the team where Snipe just lost a shopkeeper.
Hopefully no one makes any building mistakes that we can make fun of. Or actually, yeah, let's hope someone makes some building mistakes we can make fun of them. We need some content. They made us wait.
I'm gonna be loading up into Summoner's Rift. 3 minutes have already elapsed. Makes you wonder what's already happened, as we're stuck in Spectre delay.
Dark Harvest on the Echo. 3 Conquerors on the side of Dogecoin. No, that's Everfrost, excuse me. Not to be unexpected.
Standard summoners are around otherwise. I really like the Conquer on the Garen and Jarvan.
Yeah, especially the Garen, since he's going to be dealing with the Malphite the entire game. Very easily stacked up. The Jarvan might take a little bit longer, since he takes a bit of time to actually get to the 12 stacks. But eventually he'll come in if he builds a little bit bruisery. I want to see hysterics out of him. He might be able to survive long enough to get a Conqueror proc.
Game is starting.
And we're on to the Rift. Blue side looks like they're going to be going for the 5-point strategy, and while Dogecoin seems to be grouping up in the mid lane, looking to catch someone out. They do get spotted by the Akali. With the jump over the wall, only hits the Lulu, and no one else is there to follow up. They get the ward down.
No
Easy peasy.
Sweeper. Yeah, no sweeper on the side of Washington Everfrost. It's going to be just a free ward early on. They're going to know where the Jarvan starts.
Also, who's ever running the predictions, like the game started.
Cheers are from Merkin, though. I would say that this is already a loss from the side of Washington Everfrost in terms of items.
Shopkeeper too strong.
Just cheer by their bot lane. Whatever small amount of pressure it would have from poking is now pretty much gone.
I don't really think they need to be playing around the bot lane just yet, though. Like, you need Ezreal, Lulu needs a little while to start scaling up. I feel like the mid lane is the one you want to exploit the most. Yeah, Corki has the W jump away, but I feel like Akali can easily follow. Both junglers...
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, both junglers start on the top side of the map, so maybe some early attention bot lane is the move, but we'll see how it progresses.
Summon mode getting some poke off on 4G, so expected.
Yeah, big model.
Kriko Bonk trading with the Malphite, but no one of them takes damage.
I'm going to be interested to see what Critical Bonk actually builds. Does he go the true Chad build of the Triforce into... Or, I forget what the build is now, but maybe Stridebreaker's the way to go.
Short trades going around the map. Waves are pushing towards the base of Dogecoin. A bit what is expected. Most of the lanes of Dogecoin needed 1 or 2 levels to start exerting pressure.
Ooh, 4G jumps in but misses.
Small poke going out in the mid lane, Bernit's on the side. He might be looking for a gank soon. Equivalent is playing towards that.
Ooh, that's a flash from 4G. Flash gets the stun off. Ignite goes down to exhaust and return, but Echo is here. It looks for the stun onto the Echo, gets it, but is looking for Lulu instead. Gets the Q. No more flashes, just needs one more, and then 4G gets it.
4G picks up a kill, force a flash off working though as well. Heal saves 4G in the last second. We'll play from Parabellum.
Yeah, it didn't even look like he lost health there as the Q and the heal landed at the exact same time.
Alright, that dismount from the route proving crucial. Giving her a bunch of extra armor and magic was just that she needed to survive that play. Pranit, meanwhile,
still sitting in the mid lane.
Yeah.
Has not moved even though he saw the Echo bot. And now he goes in and Corki just strolls on away.
Wisher definitely getting beat down in these first couple levels. Still doesn't have that big ultimate gap closer where he can go in.
Yeah, Corki with the range advantage. Fairly easily to poke out. Once Akali gets a few levels in her Q, maybe a little bit of MR item, or not magic, just damage item, then she'll be able to start to trade more heavily into the Corki. But for right now, just trying to survive. Corki is starting to get low on mana though, so
might be looking for a back to buy tier and TV back to base.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he backs after this crushing this wave in, which he does. Top lane seemed to be trading evenly, but Endering having a little struggle of actually hitting the CS down. About 10 to 15 at the moment. It's still a Malphite, so it's not that big of a deal. Like, he's going to be a rock either way. Just how much rock?
In the jungle, Lake Wash is up 2 camps versus the Jarvan. He also got a successful gank off, burned every single summoner bot lane. Not what you want to be seeing from the side of Washington Everfrost, especially since you opted into this Jarvan pick. You're expecting early ganks.
Yeah, he's taking it very slow. He wants it to be a perfect gank, but sometimes you just gotta go, gotta pull the trigger. So he's all that time wasted. He's given Lokesh a 3 camp lead, about to be 4, as Praneeth looks to back, or Braneeth, use in-game names.
Quiven is actually going to pick up a Vamp Scepter, not the tier. He did do it last game versus Sniper. He bought a tier at 16 minutes. I would say it's unoptimal, but I think he values the sustaining lane more.
Especially in the Akali, you want to be as full health as possible, so she doesn't have the opportunity to all-in you. She is getting close to level 6, where she's going to start looking towards murdering you. Slender mode with a gank in the mid lane. Doesn't really get a whole lot off. Misses the Q, takes a turret shot. But is exerting a little bit of pressure and allowing Wisher to farm fairly safely. But his equivalent...
Equivalent is very safe in this lane. He still has CP. He's comfortable with where things are going.
Yeah, now Akali hits level 6. It's an opportunity. They see Jarvan on the top side, ping him out. And with knowing that Jarvan's on the top side, Lakewash and 4G look like they want to start the dragon.
Small trade from Parabol on bot side. Lakewash is going to pick up the Inferno Dragon with 4G. Bruni, meanwhile, trying to take some top camps trade back. He's still down 2 camps.
Yeah, it's
down
gonna
objective as well.
With no objective on the top side, Herald is not up yet. Looking like a very good timing by Dogecoin to the moon, which have accrued a little lead, only 500, but they'll take what they can get. Especially when you're the team that supposedly scales better.
Critgo Bonk opting in for a hardbound axe on his first back. Definitely going for, I believe that's builds into Triforce.
That also builds in a Stridebreaker, so it's he's got options still. He's not limiting himself just yet.
Going for a more Bersery build, I guess, instead of getting the Sunfire.
Yeah, he wants to do some damage. Garen is naturally tanky enough with his passive to not need to build the super tank items to be effective as an effective frontliner. So he's a little bit more leeway. Lokesh looking for a gank. He's going to be over a war. They see him now, but will he be able to get the angle off? No, he just looks to clear out the ward instead. If it doesn't actually get it, since Lulu polymorphed before he can get the auto down.
Actually going to be chased by Ricken, though.
And that's enough to kill him. I did not think he was going to be that low. Also, gets tagged with just the little end bit of the ultimate, and it's enough to kill him. That's actually huge, getting the gold back to even, allowing Praneeth to get some camps back under his belt and close that CS gap.
Quiven is gonna finally buy the tier. He's gonna start stacking it up, build it towards that Manamune.
Karen looking to trade heavily with Endering, but not low enough to get the ult off just yet. Does have the Conqueror still up.
Both of them knowing Garen can die really easily if they land an ability or two.
They're looking. Akali's now roamed to the top lane. The Malphite is still fairly low. A little bit over half health. He does have a shield back up. They need to be careful here. But Endering gets hit by the Akali E. Is running outside of his turret now, so he might be dead now, but... Oof.
So long, Critgo Bonk and the flash out. Clean dive from the side of Washington Everfrost.
Yeah, for entering there, you need to stay under the turret a little bit longer instead of running back to your base. Stay in your turret, make them commit all the way under the turret for you. But also good timing while they were diving. Berneath was getting the Herald, and now they get 4 plates in the top lane. And they're looking to get this turret before Dogecoin can respond.
Not to mention, Endearing down 34 CS. There was a massive wave piling up. They're actually going to go and take the entire turret in 10 minutes.
Good use of the Rift Herald. Gets a lot of gold, and now they have a comfortable 2,000 gold lead. Things have shifted after the early gank from Lokesh in the bot lane. 4G looks to gank the mid lane, but is unable to actually land the ult to pull the Akali back.
He missed the Magnet Storm at first, but tries to flash in, doesn't get it. Lokesh is going to try to make a play. They actually will kill him easily. No summoners will dive from Lokesh.
Yeah, uses summoners in the last time to escape the first gank, but Lokesh coming from the other side of the map surprises him, and Wisher goes down. Got another dragon coming up in a minute. Should be...
Teleports up for both the top laners. Enduring does have that big Malphite, but at the same time, Quick Go Bonk so much stronger than the Garen.
Especially now getting all that turret gold. He doesn't have a Stridebreaker just yet. That is what he's going to be building, it looks like, with the Iron Spiked whip.
He's going to miss the cannon, though.
Oof. Never lucky.
Yeah.
He is keeping up fairly well in CS. He's only, or like comparatively to ever, because everyone else, like there are quote unquote diamond players. Equivalent still with his almost 10 CS a minute. Man's insane. Everfrost do get to the dragon first, but 4G goes in. He doesn't really have a team, but a nice stun. Berneath looks up, looks for Kaisa, but is going to find the rest of his team.
Is out of position here. Kriko Bonk TP's in. They're going to try to kill Slender mode. Not going to be able to. Kriko Bonk's going to finish out 4G.
There's so many fights going on at once. Wisher now finds himself alone.
Enduring in the fight. Kriko Bonk's the last one left. Is it going to be an early ace for the side of Dogecoin to the moon? Not what you expected.
Not at all. There's a bunch of 1v1s around the map. Kriko Bonk does get 2 kills, picks up the Corki on the end of that, but not enough to carry the rest of his team across the finish line. They lose the Dragon Fort. Now 2 dragons stacking up nicely for Dogecoin.
The backline of Dogecoin to the moon just got free hits onto the Lulu, onto the Jarvan. Pretty much just guaranteed the fight from the beginning. Wisher wasn't able to get a assassination of any of the important members of Dogecoin to the moon. It's not how you expected this game to go on, especially with the lead that Everfrost had, but this is definitely a welcome change of momentum for Dogecoin.
You would think they would be a little bit more coordinated after 2 whole weeks of playing together, but so far not so good.
Dogecoin's staying really comfortably.
4G goes in for another engage in the mid lane. But Wisher's very slippery. Slenderman has now joined.
They might look to counter engage this.
That's a nice stun.
Will use the Magnet Storm. Kaisa W does land on the Lulu, but Knight's gonna come out. A small crit comes out of Wisher. Maybe a rocket. He will finish Slender mode off with the big one.
As your ult comes through, but doesn't do a whole lot. 4G is so tanky on this Rel. Like, he was sitting in front of both of them and just was taking no damage. A nice stun goes over onto the Jarvan. He ults in, but it's just ults to his doom. But Parabellum might die to him being stuck inside the Jarvan ult, so
that
a little bit greedy.
The cleanest angle. He dived into all the minions. His Q didn't get the isolated damage on the Jarvan.
Oof. Lokesh dodges the Garen ult with his own Chrono Break. And Critical Bonk is not able to find anything.
Shubo is going to be popped on the side of Equivalent. That's a 90-second cooldown. He's going to be looking to just farm all he can while it's down before fighting again.
There's no real objective up before that, so unless they're taking crazy fights, you should be okay.
This is what you want from the side of Dogecoin. You have 2.5 hard scaring carries, and meanwhile the side of Washington Everfrost have
And Ezreal and Akali. Oh, and the Garen too. But I feel like Corki Kaisa is going to shred through the Garen sooner rather than later.
The other is going to go for an Essence Reaver first. I don't know if that means that he's not going to go Sunder, but I think this is, depending on what he builds off, it's already a bit questionable. I hope he just still doesn't go for the Duskblade second.
I hope he doesn't. I really think Sunder is the way to go here, especially with how tanky, actually, or the Rel already is. I was going to say Malphite, but he's not.
Yeah, I think I have to mention this, but Equivalent's been doing great in this matchup. Wisher was never able to get a jump on him. I think he's been spacing wonderfully throughout the lane, and he's been to fights before Wisher has. He's up 5-1. He's up 40 CS. This is not the place where you want the Cork to be if you're the side of Washington Everfrost. Speaking of Wisher, going in on him, Garen's silence is gonna just make him not. Starting my words there. Cork just can't do anything in that situation.
He almost gets a return kill, which just shows how fed he is. But now the engage goes back onto the Kaisa. Jarvan jumps in, blocking off the team, but Kaisa's still doing a lot of damage. Echo kills off the Lulu, and now Garen's in the backline as well. Doesn't have ult though, so he should be able to go down. Akali is here as well, but very low HP. Stun comes down, but Garen has so much tenacity. He just won't die. Finally, he goes down, but now Ezreal has joined the fight as well. Nice 2-man knockup by the Malphite. Akali goes in, tries to kill off Parabellum, but is stunned up and murdered by Endering. Now it's just the Echo against the world. Misses a lot of skill shots, but
there are kind of things like Urkin, though it's feisty to go in. He knows he can pick up a kill or two for free. He's actually going to face check the bush now entirely. Parabellum flashes forward, gets the Acadian Rain off on the isolated Ezra. It's going to be a free kill for him.
And right before the next dragon spawns as well, they'll all be up while Ezreal was arguably their most damage-heavy champion on Everfrost will be down. So they have a window here to get 3 dragons before Everfrost can even get on the board. But they're moving over with 4. Everfrost looking to rest or get some positioning here.
That last fight was a 4v4 as well. Wisher was really low. He tried to go in at the last moment, but he couldn't do anything. Equivalent was also forced out of fight earlier from the Garen flash silence ult. But now it's looking to be a 5v5. Corki does have the package.
Echo finds Wisher on the Akali, but the other 4 push off Everfrost away from the dragon. But no one started it yet. They're still just dancing yet. Lokesh looking for the 1v1. Package goes in onto the Ezreal, and he is at 1 HP already, but Jarvan goes in to try to save his team, but is unsuccessful. And now Critical Bonk is trying to spin his way to victory, and it's not going to happen. Wisher zoned out from the fight, unable to do anything, and with Ezreal getting bursted out so early, just a free fight for Dogecoin, and it's looking worse and worse.
That was a missed ultimate by Forge as well. He hit nobody with the magnetism, but it didn't matter. Just the backline dive of Corki, Kaisa, Malphite is just too strong. The Lulu can't do anything in these situations. She just gets run down.
Yeah, I'm liking the combo of Corki Kaisa, like especially when Corki has the package, because if he hits anybody, they're going to be slowed and knocked away, giving Kaisa the option to ult in as well.
Mountain Soul point for Dogecoin. If they get that, Wisher is basically a non-factor in the game, I would say. I would be surprised if he managed to get a pick onto anyone that's already chunked in some way.
4G goes in a little bit early. Wisher on the flank, but this is a 4v3. Jarvan and Garen on the other side of the map, but Jarvan decides to TP in. Wisher does his full combo, but gets pretty much nothing. Kirkobonk here now trying to run down before the Corki gets here, but is unable to find anything. Already used the Stride Breaker to try to slow 4G, but was unable to. And nice try getting the flank, but it did not work out. And sensing a little bit of desperation out of Everfrost.
Though, sadly, is going for the Duskblade second. I was hoping I wouldn't have to see it, but it is in his item slots. It's a rated Dirk. Don't know what else he's gonna build that in.
Maybe a collector. I'm hoping. I doubt it.
4G already has a Locket of the Iron Solari. He's building Warden's Mill. Maybe that's going to be a Randuin's. The Malphite with a Frostfire Gauntlet and Bramble Vest. He's gonna continue stacking armor. He doesn't need to stack MR versus Wisher.
Yeah, he's got enough. He'll have enough health to deal with Wisher. And if Wisher is ulting to kill the Malphite, then they have bigger issues.
Equivalent sitting on 300 stacks on his Manamune. I think if he did buy the tier before the Vamp Scepter, he could have had it by now. But it's
he's in no rush. They have a 5,000 gold lead. They don't need to. They scale better. They don't need to do anything hasty. Big trades in the bot lane. A lot of damage going out back and forth. Abilities flying. They both want this.
Conquer.
Oh, the ult's huge.
Flashes nothing but gets the kill anyway.
He's flashing to the vulnerable part of the rock, which is obviously the backside. What a 1v1.
Intense.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot.
I was thinking the Conquer wouldn't be enough healing and tank shred to kill the Malphite, but I stand wrong.
He's now got his Sterix up and running as well, so he'll have an extra health bar to work with. Even if Everfrost lose, that was good. That was good. He should be proud of that.
Equivalent sub 70 CS up. Speaking of which, there's going to be an attempt at a pick, but Slendermo's going to flash out of it. Cork is bringing an RFC. I'm guessing 1 or 2 more waves until he gets enough money to buy it.
Then he'll have his Muramana as well, and it's just it's gonna be everywhere. It's gonna be disgusting.
Yeah. At that point, Dot Equipment was bad before. Now he's just gonna be a damage machine from the side of Dogecoin. What do you do if you're a Wisher in this situation?
You gotta find the right flank. You just hope someone's alone, like the Kaisa, preferably. I don't think you kill the Corki right now with a shield bow. You gotta find the Kaisa alone in the side lane or in the jungle. Pick her off, and then hope that you can win a team fight afterwards. Stall long. Okay, here's my new plan. Stall long enough where you kill the Kaisa, so that her death timer is longer than your ultimate. So then you have a 4v5 with your ultimate. That's
thing. With all summoners up, I think Parabellum, if he plays all his cards right, can get the 1v1 kill versus Wisher.
Yeah, there's definitely a chance that happens. I just think that chance is lower than the Corki. I think the Corki will have a much better time in the 1v1, but this game's not just about 1v1. Kirkobonk finds 4G. But
Equivalent sitting on the side, he teleported in with the package, looking for the flank. They have no vision on him.
They do now as he attacks the pink ward, but they've successfully bullied Everfrost away from this dragon. 4G now just needs to run interference, not die, and this dragon should be theirs. But a nice, what's it called?
Package goes down. True Shot Barrage hits nothing.
It's just doomed. There's 2 members down already. Garen trying to beat up the equivalent, but it's not going to work when he has shield bow. Now Lokesh is trying to run down Erkendel. Kills him with the smite. Smoted.
Kicks him in the face. There's no chance. They're going to go for a Baron. This game is over.
Yeah, this game is very over. Malphite gets two shields now. Two. And the extra resistances too are helping so much. Like every resistance Rel steals is getting multiplied by the two dragons. He's even got a bounty on the Rel. It's not looking good. 1-5 in the jungle, Jarvan. 0-6 on the support. It's honestly, I think it was just a draft diff. Like, yeah, Dogecoin played well, but they kind of Everfrost kind of boxed themselves into a corner. Like when 4G, look at that shield, Jesus, like a 600, 800 shield.
I was just not expecting Worship to do nothing in the game.
Yeah, he got pushed in fairly early. Wasn't able to actually use the Akali pick to find pressure, get a roam. He was pretty much just handled by equivalent. Managed.
I think if you're watching Everfrost at this point, I'd just be, oh, actually, Roka's trying to get a pick on a Slender mode. Not going to get it. Polymorph kind of screws him up. It's going to ult him play, so Worship gets the Shuriken flip. Not going to go in. Two-shot barrage gets some poke damage. That's about it. Anyways, what I was saying, if you're watching Everfrost, I would sub and deal Brandon for your mid laner at this point.
Yeah, a better player.
Higher ranked, more diverse champ pool. Just Wisher is not cutting it.
Needs to be benched. But I feel like everyone played very well on Dogecoin, proving the haters wrong and most looking like they're going to go 2-0 using this Baron buff to get the bot lane turret. Now almost an 8,000, or yeah, it's like 9,000 gold lead. Looking to push that to 5-digit gold lead.
Sieging up bot while both the top lane are stuck in top lane. Maybe we're going to see another dance again, but this time it might be a bit more one-sided.
Yeah, they try to do what I was talking about earlier with the 4-1 with the Garen in the side lane working on the Malphite, but he's not really getting a whole lot done at the moment into the Baron minions. While the 4 of Dogecoin are getting a lot of work done into the weak bot side of Everfrost.
They are going to go mid?
I feel like you could have forced for the inhib, but I guess they wanted an inhib turret before, or another inhib turret instead.
At the very least, you force out Garen TP. That was an interesting decision. I don't know. I saw somebody, I believe it might have been Parabellum because he was positioning towards the mid lane more, that ping to go there, but strange decision. They are gonna, seems to get this herd for free.
Yeah, 4G goes in just to move them away, the zoning. But this is, Echo goes in, tries to one-shot Erkendel, ults back out, but Erkendel's now at 1/3 HP, and they find Slender mode again, 0-7 on this Vulu pick, not having a survivability he needs, but a nice double knock-up into Jarvan ult, but it's not enough.
Doesn't do damage.
Endring wasn't even there.
He shows up for the victory rep. Quadra for Parabomb, all that happened. He can blame his mid laner for stealing one of the kills off the Panda, but that's going to be game. Not what you expect from the way these teams are positioned. Dogecoin is going to pick up the win despite all the odds against them, and I am going to lose 1,700 channel points.
Yep, I lose, I think, 2,000. Unfortunate. But we should have bet on the side of Dogecoin. They've been proving people wrong for 2 weeks in a row now. Who do we want to get for an interview?
Looking at the damage charts, Wisher he did less damage in the top Malphite.
Well, granted, the top Malphite and the Garen were going at it. And big trades left and right up there.
Equivalent, I would say equivalent definitely made the most plays this game. He won a lane he shouldn't have been able to play.
Yeah, but we interviewed him last week, so we'll get Parabellum in here. I think we'll have to move to the casters chat, but we'll do that just real quick.
0 votes for Lokesh. Feels bad, man.
I don't know how to drag. I don't think can I drag and drop people? I might be able to. We'll see.
Not between servers.
All right, so I'm gonna move the casters chat.
And we're back.
We're gonna pull Parabellum in here.
Oh, hey, what's up, guys?
Welcome. Great game on the Kaisa. Saw your dirty mid laner steal your penta.
It happens. I stole his penta, but it was reverse. He was supposed to get the quadra after that.
Ah, I see. Well, great game. Looking real good. 8-1, 11-2 overall in your bot lane. Against one of the coming into the tournament, one of the stronger ranked bot lanes in the league. How did that go? How do you do it?
I think it was just team diff, honestly. Like, I think the Ezreal into the Kai'Sa was kind of like, I don't know why, is I can just sit. I can sit in bot, and I know Slender Mode likes to roam a lot, and 4G does as well. So it's basically just me and Erkindle just sitting in the bot lane farming, and I was okay with that. He was getting ahead in CS, but I mean, Praneeth just loves me so much, he just wants to sit in my bush and say hi to me, so I think it was alright. We just had confidence. 4G and I are just animals. We just go in whenever we can, so it gives us some confidence in our gameplay.
And linking up with Lokesh in the jungle to get the first blood, and then just never looking back, really. Maybe there's one or two times in there looking back, but other than that, a very clean win.
The tier 2 tower once.
Oh yeah, I saw that in the Jarvan. You got caught in the Jarvan ultimate.
I was still in turret range, but
and you're just desperately clawing at the walls trying to get out. Let me out! Let me out!
Credit to Praneeth for actually pressing R. I thought he was just gonna flash away.
Respect.
How do you feel like knowing that you just took down what pretty much all the casters consider to be the second best team?
I feel pretty good. I think it's I'm kind of getting the 2D Sim Squad feeling. Shout out to my old team. That like teamwork is better than like individual skill, I think, and I think we showed it. I mean, of course, Equivalent is really skilled, but when we like work together, I don't think rank matters. Like we were just working well as a team, and I think if we work kind of like this, if we have a great early game and we don't throw it in mid game, we could probably beat any team.
Big words. I'm still not sold.
I mean, you know.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna be a hater until I'm proven wrong.
I'm not even on my setup too. Like if I could stop canceling autos on this like cheap Logitech mouse, it would be great. But
so you're not even at your final form.
No, I haven't been playing this game. I mean, if you look at my matches, I've just been kind of running it every single game. So I'm surprised I even like only died once.
It's the competitive nature of VCU LCS. It brings out the best in everyone.
It does. It really makes me consider flashing towards the turret or ulting under the turret. Shout out Sly Brad, but you know, I think I don't know. There's something different about playing against a team, and especially a team like this, where I thought Wisher's team and Daniel's team, of course, were like some of the strongest teams. I was looking in, I was like, well, if we just all turn off nameplates, like it won't matter. We're just playing against Ezreal Lulu, which I hate Lulu. It's my perma ban, and I was already tilted going in, but I turned off the nameplates, and I mean it was kind of free, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like y'all hard outdrafted them. I don't like their team at all. Looking back,
that's what we were saying too. Is like any doubts in our minds kind of went out when we saw the draft. We said there's no way we should lose on this. So
that's why I think your 2-0 is a bit sus, because you played arguably the worst team in the league and a team that didn't know how to draft.
I mean, like,
so we'll see if you're actually any good. Keep up the good work.
Too good. Hey, thank you, man.
We'll see y'all around. Thanks for everyone for showing up. We have another game at, I think, what is it?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, yes, thank you. So, actually, who is it? It's the boys versus the First Crusade of VCU. Daniel will be playing in that game, so we'll wish him luck. But until then, peace. Have a good night.
Yep. Thank you guys for having me.